Today, we're jumping into the top 5 slicers and what we like to use here at GL Robotics. So number 5 is PrusaSlicer. Reason being, and it's going to be controversial for a lot of you, is it's just an overly complicated mess. Yes, it runs on Windows, it'll run on Apple, and you can run it on Linux. But with all the different settings that people have access to in it, I feel like it just gives you too much room for error and can cause a lot of people that aren't too familiar with printing to cause a lot of issues for themselves that they don't need to experience. Now, that's not saying that there's not good things about PrusaSlicer, especially if you're using Prusa printers. Number 4, Simplified 3D. And the reason that this one is lower on the list is because it's not a free slicer like PrusaSlicer. Simplified 3D is a paid subscription every year. Again, like PrusaSlicer, it has a lot of confusing options. Not necessarily hard to use, but not clearly laid out either. I would say that one of the pros to using Simplified 3D is that you're going to have more support for a wider range of types of machines. You can go from everything from your Magician X2s here to Raise 3Ds, 4-foot tall, just giant printers. You could even use the M600D that's sitting here behind me. But that comes down to your preference and if you want to pay for it or not. Number 3 is going to be Cura. Cura is number 3 because of its versatility. Mac, Windows, Linux, you name it, you can run it. It's not going to put too much strain on your computer to run it. They have a huge list of pre-made profiles for various different brands of printers and companies. It also has different experience levels inside the slicer. They have a basic, advanced, expert. You get to choose what kind of features you get to change in your slicer, which I think saves a lot of people from themselves when it comes to 3D printing. Some cons to Cura. Some people don't like how the web interface for printers goes into Cura and the plugins that you have to download in order for your printer to show your camera in Cura, or that you have to have your printer plugged into your computer to be able to interface with your printer while you're in Cura. And that's why number 2 is going to be Bambu Studio. Bambu Studio is only number 2 because it's a copy off of PrusaSlicer, but also it's closed to Bambu printers. That can be good and bad in a lot of ways. It's good in the fact that all the Bambu printers are supported by it and they give you an option whenever you download it and open it up for the first time to choose all of your Bambu printers, and it's one slicer that you can just select your printer, boom, send your print to it, and you're good to go. You don't really have to worry about it. But that can also be a negative side to it, is it doesn't have a whole lot of support for other branded printers. So if you have Bambu printers and you have Magician printers, now you would be looking at having 2 different slicers that you would have to use for your printers. And that's why number 1 is OrcaSlicer. Just like Bambu Studio, a copy of PrusaSlicer, but it's open source. With it being open source, they have more preset profiles for just about every printer that you can buy on the market today, to include Bambu. You can download the Bambu network plugin, upload and send your prints directly from that slicer to your printer. Also with OrcaSlicer, it's a lot easier if you're running a printer that has Clipper or something like that to go ahead and be able to view your webcam, take your time-lapse videos, and the settings for your prints are a little bit more intuitive as far as what needs to be changed and how you're going to change it. That's my top 5 list of slicers. No matter what slicer you decide to use though, GL Robotics is always here for you. If this video was helpful for you, please drop a like, subscribe, give us a comment, and let us know what kind of content you would like to see in the future, and we'll be seeing you.